This is going to be the Gym Girlies guide to starting your fitness journey in 2024. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hello, welcome. My name is Megan, and today's video I'm going to be walking you guys through my top tips for starting your fitness journey into the new year, or right now, whenever you're watching this. It's a good time to start. It's never a bad time. It's okay if you like to wait for a new year. It's okay if you like to just go when you're motivated, but these tips should help you guys to kind of find your footing and figure out how best to start your fitness journey. I know it can be extremely overwhelming. It can be something that maybe you've tried in the past and you haven't been successful with. So these are going to be tips that I personally use to stay consistent. Once I started, I did not stop. Okay, so these tips are going to be good for you. Let's waste no time. Let's get into tip number one. My first tip, and I just think a really important aspect of starting your fitness journey, is really understanding why you are starting your fitness journey. What is the goal in that moment in time? I want to say and emphasize in that moment in time, because it's very, very common to go into fitness wanting to do one thing, and then you start working out and then you want to go this way, you want to go that way. That's normal. You're exploring, you're trying new things, and you should allow yourself to do those new things to figure out what you do and don't like. There's peaks and valleys in your fitness journey. There's going to be times when you're super motivated, when you're not, when you have super set goals, and when you're just going for fun. All of those are great. It does not matter what your goals are. It's just important that you are aligned with your goals so that you can properly prepare yourself for whatever it is that you want to do. So for example, if the goal is to grow muscle mass, you need to make sure that you are training in a proper way to do so. If the goal is just to go and have fun and get consistent in the environment, what you do in each week doesn't matter as much as someone who wants to be super strong in a strength training program or somebody who's looking to have muscular hypertrophy. So that's the reason to know your goals. It's totally fine if your goals are different from someone else. They should be. They're your goals. But if your goals are similar to somebody else, then you can kind of use them as a blueprint. My second tip, and the second thing that you should do in the process of planning to start your fitness journey, is really being real. Being real with yourself, sitting down with yourself and saying, how much time can I actually spend towards these goals? If you are a mom, if you're a CEO, if you're a super busy person, you're traveling all the time, your fitness journey is going to look so different than somebody with a rigid schedule. When I was in college, I was able to be so consistent. I was able to go to the gym because my schedule never changed. I had the same classes every single week. And other than social outings, I was really able to hunk down a routine that was super easy and fit to my life. Now that I'm older, maybe my schedule looks different week to week, and I have to alter it a little bit more. So I think the biggest thing is understanding how much time can I genuinely commit to my fitness journey, whether it's one day, whether it's all 7 days of the week. More power to you. Just find what's best for you. I think it's easy to feel the pressure from people who are posting online like their workout routines, to feel like you have to be following that routine to get to where they are. That's absolutely not true. It's all about altering your lifestyle for something that you can do long term, because training 7 days a week like somebody whose only job it is to train, versus training 4 days a week with somebody who is balancing a 9 to 5 and another life with you, is completely different. And both are beautiful and both are fine, but it's just about making sure that it's going to be long-term and sustainable for you, as well as making sure it complements your life and it doesn't disrupt it. And for some people, it's going to be harder to figure out where does the gym fit in, but you do need to find time and ways to fit it in, whether that's waking up early, going to bed later, using your lunch break, just making time in some way. I think it's all about sustainability. So it's about slowly implementing, this healthier lifestyle into your life in a way that complements your life and that you're actually excited about kind of having in your life. My favorite thing to tell my clients is start low, then we go high. Okay, so start with less days. As you can build that foundation, be consistent with that, feel good with that, feel good with all the exercises you're doing, then we build, then we add more. So let's say that you said, okay, I can allot 5 days a week to training, but you have not been training. You have not been doing any exercise. I would not give you a 5-day split, because we're setting you up to fail. We're setting you up to be exhausted, setting you up to be super sore, and just not prepared for what that entails. It's a lot of dedication and we don't want to burn you out. So instead, if we want to work up to a 5-day split, maybe we start with 2 to 3 days. Build that foundation, get comfortable in the gym again, get comfortable with the exercises you're doing. Once that has happened, once we've accomplished that, then we go up to 3 to 4 days, then up to 4 to 5 days. So it's a process, doesn't have to be all at once, and typically spreading it out is going to be less overwhelming for you in the long run. And like I kept alluding to, this is something extremely important to me in everything that I do with my content, with my coaching, is understanding you and your life. If you have a rigid schedule, let's say you're a 9 to 5 worker, your schedule's always the same, your hours are always the same. Or let's say you're a student. My student schedule was really rigid. I knew when my classes were, I knew when my labs were, and then I had a lot of time outside of that. So if your schedule is predictable, if it's rigid, if you know what's going to happen, then you guys can create a plan that looks into the long term. So a plan that, you know, I'm gonna work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday every single week for the next 6 months. I could do that when I was in college because it was more predictable. It was easy for me to do that. For my less rigid people, especially my healthcare girlies, my people who are CEOs, maybe running your own business, just people who travel a lot for business, your split and your schedule can look different week to week. It's just more about, for you, looking at your week in a glance and saying, I can go Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday of this week. That's perfect. As long as you're fitting your days in, that's perfect. And I have several clients who are nurses. Their schedules change monthly. They look different all the time, and we work with it. We make it happen. We change their split, and we look at it week at a glance, week by week, as opposed to looking at it as a big chunk, because it's not realistic to say, okay, you just worked a 12-hour shift. I expect you to go to the gym on Tuesday, no matter what. Some people like that structure, but for other people, you're gonna be so drained. So it's better to do something that can suit you longer term. And it doesn't mean, okay, we're gonna be loosey-goosey and you can skip and you can do whatever, but it just means we're gonna make sure that this fits with my energy levels, this fits with my routine, and it's something that I will wanna do long term. This tip is super important that I wanted to share, especially as somebody who does have, you know, links and codes with companies. I work with a supplement company. I work with an activewear company. I do ads obviously on here all the time. Just because I am pushing things, I do genuinely love them. I would never push something I don't love. But just because I'm pushing things doesn't mean you need those things. So I think the biggest thing when you start your fitness journey is you start to follow all these pages and you get inspired, and it's amazing. I think without women in the health industry having fitness pages, I would not be where I am today, because they really helped me be motivated. They taught me things. It was beautiful. It was so helpful. But also I looked at those pages and I saw the activewear they were wearing or buying. I saw the supplements they were using, and I was like, okay, for me to look like that, for me to have that discipline, for me to get there, I have to do those same things, when that is absolutely not the case. And I feel like no one stressed that enough when I started, so I really like to stress it a ton in videos that I create like this. Things like supplements, activewear, wrist wraps, creatine, all these different things, they are wonderful. They are amazing. I use them. I think they're great and they're supplemental to your journey. But if you're just starting out, if you have not been consistent for a month, the last thing you need to worry about is buying all these extra things. I always tell people, start with the gym membership and start with, you know, just obviously making sure you have the right equipment to train and just feel comfortable training. But the gym membership and being consistent should be your number one. And then as a little treat for doing so, then you start buying the activewear, you start getting the supplements, all the things. But when you first start, all you really need is yourself and a plan. And I think it can be really overwhelming to see all this stuff online and feeling like you need it all. But I promise you, you just need your body, okay? You need to be consistent, and ideally access to a gym would be good as well. And then you can build from there. And obviously gym clothes aren't needed, but if they make you feel more confident and help you get there, then I'm here for it. You know I'm here for it. And that leads me to my next tip, which is all about change and just the introduction of fitness in your life. I feel like for some people, we really ramp it up to be this massive thing. And it is a huge thing. It is a huge step to decide, I'm going to invest in myself, I'm going to invest in my fitness journey, and I want to make these changes. So I don't want to undermine that by any means, but I also want to say it does not have to be life altering. It does not mean that we have to stop everything we were doing before, cancel plans on our friends, not go to the dinners, not go out, not travel. I feel like a lot of people feel like, okay, if I'm starting fitness, then all of these other things have to change too. And it can just be a lot. And I see this all the time where clients want to change everything at once. They come to me and they say, so should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, let's hold our horses. Can we realistically change all these things overnight? Absolutely not. It takes so much time to build habits. So let's start with the fitness for the first few weeks. Once you feel good about the fitness, let's look into the nutrition. Once you feel confident with the fitness and nutrition, then we can look into things like our sleep, our stress, our time management, our daily habits. Not to say you can't overlap these things and do them all together, but it's a lot less overwhelming if you just spread it out properly and just make sure that you're focusing on a habit at a time. You can get everywhere that you want to be without having to change everything in a week's time, because life is full of changes and we have to adapt and we have to change things as we go. but starting small and then growing, just like I said earlier, is going to be the same when it comes to other things in your life that you want to change. And I just want to remind you guys that the beginning is all kind of about trial and error, figuring out what works for you, figuring out what doesn't. Once you start training and once you have a good routine, once you've tried new exercises, tried new gyms, all the things, figuring out what do I genuinely like, what do I absolutely not like, what exercises work for me, what exercises are not working for me, where am I getting stronger, where am I not seeing strength improvements. All of that is trial and error, and it's super important that you are assessing each little part of your journey over time. And so keeping note of, you know, like, this is a goal of mine that I really have not touched or hit yet. How can I kind of implement it? Everything is trial and error at the beginning. Not everything's going to work well. Not everything is going to feel good. Not everything is going to be a success, and that's okay. I think the biggest part is, okay, so I tried this. What is the next step? How am I going to pivot, and what changes am I going to make? I'm proud of you for even clicking on this video. I'm proud of you for deciding that you want to give it a shot, whether you're retrying, whether it's your first time trying, it does not matter. It's okay. You've got this. I believe in you. And I think the biggest thing is just aligning with yourself, talking to yourself, and really believing in yourself, because half of the battle is in your brain. It's your brain's ability to say, this is something I want, and this is the work I have to do, and this is what I'm going to do to make it happen. And you just have to believe in yourself and know that you can do it. So thank you guys for joining me on Gym Girlies Guide to Starting Your Fitness Journey. I'm very excited. I'm going to be making more of these. I think it's super fun, and I also have some graphics that I am going to be popping on my socials, which I'll pop on the screen and down below. So if you guys are more visual and you just want a fast little swipe through, or if you guys like a little pep talk here on the YouTube, there's something for everybody. Hopefully you guys got something from this video and it helped you in some way, shape, or form. And I'll see you guys super soon in my next one. So love you guys so much. Good luck on your journey. If you guys ever need help, comment down below, let me know. I'm here to help you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.